Okay. Good evening, everyone. This is the City of Dania Beach CRA meeting on June the 9th. It is 6 o'clock p.m. and I call this meeting to order. City Clerk, if you would please call the roll.
Chair Davis.
Here.
Vice Chair Salvino.
Here.
Board Member Llewellyn.
Here.
Board Member Romoli.
Here.
Board Member Ryan.
Here.
City Attorney Bootsas.
Here.
Executive Director Sosa Cruz.
Here.
Chair, you have a quorum.
Thank you so much, City Clerk. Next, we have item 2, which is citizens' comments. Do I have anyone from the audience that would like to make comments? Nope. Seeing none, we will move on to item 3, which is the administrative reports. And that will be from our Executive Director, City Manager, all in one, Candida Sosa Cruz.
Thank you, Chair. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Vice Chair, board members, residents, and city team, CRA team as well. My name is Candido Sosa Cruz, Executive Director of the CRA. I have a brief administrative report tonight. On May 27, I attended the Alliance mid-year luncheon alongside Chair Davis and board member Llewellyn. The event provided valuable insight into the continued economic growth and corporate interest throughout South Florida, particularly within the aviation and transportation sector. It was especially encouraging to hear from Marty St. George, who is the president of JetBlue, and their long-term expansion strategy here at Fort Lauderdale Hollywood Airport. And additionally, it was important to hear about their growth at this airport and the continued interest in Broward County and specifically in Dania Beach. Was able to meet and discuss key individuals from the Alliance, and we were able to schedule a meeting, and we had a meeting and we discussed, and they told us that they're taking the lead in trying to attract major corporations into the old Spirit building. They are working with key individuals from Kimco. They are working with key individuals from the realty industry, and they said that once the interested parties take the necessary steps, they're going to be reaching back out to us to let us know how we could partner with them. So right now, the ball's in the court of those that are interested. The interested party, there's 2 interested parties. One is from the aviation field, and one is from the cruise line field. So they want to take advantage of the airport and the seaport. So it seems it's very probable that they're going to be moving in because their attorneys are already in talks with Spirit's attorneys concerning the bankruptcy and how to settle it before they move in. So again, right now we're just in a hold pattern, and once the Alliance approaches us, most likely it would be to go over some type of incentive package with the Broward County, with the state of Florida, to see how we could recruit these 2 major players into the old Spirit building. Last month, the CRA team also attended the grand opening celebration for Benjamin Moore Luminous, located at 15 South Federal Highway. Chair Davis was in attendance. The event was sponsored by the Dania Beach Chamber of Commerce, and it served as another example of continued investment and business activity within our CRA district. As directed by the board, the CRA posted the letter of interest for the Pippin Waiters Road and Southwest 12th Avenue cluster of CRA-owned properties. That's going to stay open until August 31st. We'll be receiving proposals from developers to see what their interest is on those 2 cluster groups. A memorandum also went out from procurement to review related new Federal Highway Beautification Initiative. This is the Landscape and Planters Initiative. Yervaka has taken the lead on that. We've received some quotes from several vendors, and we are moving forward with a local Dania Beach vendor that's been able to provide us the best pricing. So we're excited for that project to kick off and hopefully bring in a new aesthetic look to the Federal Highway corridor. The city team also has developed and distributed the June CRA Merchant Newsletter. This is the newsletter that Javaka has been spearheading. It's a comprehensive communication tool designed to support and engage local businesses. This specific June newsletter will feature items on the slow summer revenue ideas. One of the headlines is grads, dads, and lads. Another one is the upcoming planter and streetscape improvement. The redevelopment real estate manager has also been working with the Art and Entertainment District and what it's being advertised or promoted as Dania Beach Art Week. That's a new initiative, still in the beginning stages, and Javaka will be able to talk about that later if you have questions. But basically, it's getting different art and entertainment stores and companies in the district together and create an art week to promote visitors, promote residents to participate at the actual stores and their locations. So we're excited for that. Under the Rebuilding Together, under the home beautification program, under the new contract, we've increased it to 5 homes completed, 7 homes on the wait list, and 8 homes on the upcoming, waiting to be qualified. The numbers that I'm saying are the last numbers that I've received. These are updated from the report that you have, but I did want you to have the latest numbers. Under the Safe at Home program, it's up to 45 homes completed. Our goal is to finish the year with 50 homes. 6 homes are in process, 6 are in line, and 8 are being vetted. We've had 30 visitors at the patch this past month, 43 volunteers, and the last workshop was the Earth Day composting workshop, which included 9 attendees. The last crops was approximately 300 pounds of strawberries, zucchini, eggplant, sage, dill, greens, collards, tomatoes. Upcoming event at the patch, Saturday, June 13th, we have the Veggies and Herbs Taste Garden Tour. Saturday, June 20th is our Growers Farmers Market, and Saturday, June 27th is the Farmers Market with vendors. Under the Volunteering Hands-On Broward, which is the different organizations throughout Broward County that come and participate at the patch, on April 25th, we had Lighthouse Connections Team. On April 30, Dan Marino Foundation, and on May 15th, the Invitation Homes. On Friday, June 5th, we all participated at the Port Everglades Association, which is the Economic Engine Performance Report 26. It was at a great venue for those that participated. The convention center is truly amazing, and an incredible view, and incredible economic engine here for Broward County. Also, I want to let everyone know that on June 18th at 6 p.m., which is Thursday, we're going to start the CORE conversations. Remember, every year, Dania Beach officials and our city team, we go out to the community for CORE, which stands for Community Outreach Resident Engagement. This first one will be located at the PJ Millie Community Center. Again, Thursday, June 18th at 6 p.m., where we will answer any and all questions that the community might have. 2 items that are not part of the report, but I do want to discuss them. More of a discussion item. The first one is, as you remember, we posted the director position for the CRA. We interviewed and we actually selected one individual, but after this whole tax exemption, homestead exemption elimination, I think it was prudent on us for us to put the position on hold. So we went ahead and let the person know that right now we're not moving forward. The vacancy is going to stay frozen. We don't intend to fill it, and for the next year, I will be covering it just because we don't know financially what's coming our way. Second, I wanted to ask the board if there was consensus to move forward to conduct a parking study in the area surrounding City Hall. The study will primarily focus on First Ave and the streets north and south of City Hall. There's been a handful of complaints and continues to increase on parking limitations, vehicles that are staying parked overnight, not moving on First Ave, by grandpas and also by a kava bar. So I think it would be strategically smart for us to conduct a study, a parking study, that would look at two primary things. One is new on-street parking spaces, creating additional on-street parking spaces. And second, looking at paid street parking through a payment app such as Pay by Phone, which is what we currently use at the beach. That way the parking now becomes, we're able to monetize, but now those people that are just leaving their cars there for hours and hours versus customers coming and not having a place to park. So if there's consensus, I would like to go out, do a parking study, a very small one for this immediate area, and implement these two factors. That concludes my admin report. If there's any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Yeah, I just think it's wonderful that we would look at it that way and get some of the revenue, because I've heard the complaints about the parking as well. And so if we can do like we do at the beach and implement the pay by park or whichever one we use, then I think that's a great idea, and I would be all for that. Board Member Romoli.
Thank you. I also wanted to follow up just briefly on our conversation, Manager, about approaching the property owner of our problem right now and giving them the idea that we discussed about rather than towing people to monetize with a valet parking service. That way we create a couple of things there. They still can monetize, make some money, but they also create more goodwill and not bad will, where people come in, park their cars, find them towed in 5 minutes, and never come back to Dania Beach again. This way, I think it's a win-win, and I'm hoping that they come to their senses and they do listen, that this is the best alternative. Thank you also for that parking study. I think that's going to be long overdue. I think First Street has been taken advantage, or First Ave has been taken advantage for many, many years. It's a cluster over there, and we have people going down the wrong way. It's really bad, so definitely need that. So I'm really happy to hear that. I do have a question on the planning, landscaping for Federal Highway. How far up are we doing that?
Javaka, do you want to answer? Yes. Thank you.
And hopefully it's the area in which
we're going to start with the pilot program.
Okay.
To see the feedback we get, because there is a cost to it. So we want to make sure that the return on investment is what we expect. So right now it's going to be confined to a certain area that Javaka would describe. And hopefully, if the feedback is good, if the board is happy, then we'll be able to budget this budget season and expand the whole federal corridor. Go ahead.
So you'll be able to then, you're going to present to us what
Yes.
your ideas are before we
Yes.
move forward?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we have identified 7 potential locations, and they are in the North Federal Highway corridor. So we're going through permissions now with a couple of the owners, and we've got all but 2 locations that there were 4 locations that required permissions because they were very close to, a business or a property. So 2 of those have agreed, and 1 has not, and I'm still waiting for 1. So, I can tell you where the
No,
locations
if we're going to
are.
make a presentation, then I'm
Okay.
fine. We'll just wait for that presentation.
Okay.
But
okay.
the pilot program would be from, let's say, from
Jimmy's Chocolates,
which one?
pretty much is the first one, Jimmy's Chocolates, and then it goes up to Papa Thanks So Much.
Where?
To where?
Papa Thanks So Much, the little coffee shop.
The coffee,
Yes.
the new coffee shop. So do you know all 7 off the top of your head? So you could just let the board know the 7 locations?
Yes. Okay, so it's Jimmy's Chocolates. Of course, the city owns that, so that one's approved. Franco's also has approved in front of Franco's. The other one was in the block where the fish grill is. That one is not approved, so we need to find another location for that. The other's in front of True Hotel. That one looks like that's going to move forward. What am I forgetting?
Is the bank?
Oh, yes, the bank, sorry. Yes, the bank is approved, and then, and Papa Thanks So Much.
Okay.
I think
And
I
these
said
will be
7.
near the sidewalk or right off the sidewalk? Again, where people drive, they see.
So this is
Under the
really
bank.
not going to be the center medians, basically?
Not on the median, no,
Okay,
no.
this is all streetscaping,
Yes.
basically.
Right. And it's a pilot, just to begin with. I mean, if it's fantastic and, you know, you want to do more, then of course that can happen. And then
Yeah,
you can see.
I still want to go and push for the entrance into Dania Beach right after our sign. That median that
Yes.
comes in from the north to the south is primed for a beautiful upgrade.
And remember.
And I know that there were some issues with water but I
No,
think.
not with water. That
Electric-
was supposed to be the second median beautification after Griffin. Remember, we just
Okay.
did Griffin. The next one was supposed to be the one you're describing.
Yeah.
But FDOT told us to hold off because they're going to be doing some construction that's going to impact the median.
Okay, which they're doing now.
Therefore, we moved the second one to be Dania Beach Boulevard, east of Federal.
Okay,
And now, once that is done, we're coming back to Federal
Okay.
after FDOT is complete.
yeah. All right. It's just that I know our first impression when you drive into our city, the first thing you see is a bunch of power lines. And if we can somehow soften that view of our city as you're driving in just before Old Griffin Road, yeah. But again, we'll just wait to hear from
I agree.
FDOT and see.
We agree.
Okay. The other question I had, last question, sorry, is on the Spirit, the individuals who are possibly looking at going in there. What's going to happen with the building that houses the simulators?
Again, that is one of the main attractions to the aviation company. They're looking to purchase those.
So they're going to keep it there?
Correct.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool, great, thank you.
And just a quick question on the median, since we were on it, the plan would be to have them look similar to what is on Dania Beach Boulevard with the flowers and everything like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Griffin, the improvement we've done in Griffin, yes.
Is the same, okay. All right. Board Member Ryan?
Thank you, Chair. Is there any useful information that we could pull from the Northwest First Avenue study that Giordano did for us for the revitalizing Northwest First Ave? Didn't they do studies to create that concept? Or is that just a concept that?
Okay, I'm sorry, I missed the first part.
For the Northwest First Ave streetscape, what you're talking about?
Yeah, no, I'm talking about a parking study.
The parking study, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is there any useful information we could pull from what we were presented by that engineering firm or no?
No, what they did was a streetscape, more of enhancing sidewalks, narrowing the road from two-way to one-way, beautifying with lighting and different aesthetics. What we're looking at is adding additional on-street parking, finding locations that additional parking could be added, and then adding the pay by phone app.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Shouldn't it be a part of the Northwest First Ave?
It
Revitalization or, their
it
plan?
could be.
It should all be incorporated, right?
It could be, but remember, the First Ave is going to be narrowing the road and adding the on-street parking. We're not looking at that specifically because that's part of the vision itself. We're looking at different areas, like in front of Grandpa's, and the City Place Street, First Ave, let's say north of Dania Beach Boulevard, and then First Street, which is the three primary areas we're getting the majority of complaints. People going to the Cava bar on First Street, people going to the businesses immediately east of Nyberg Swanson in the post office, and then by Grandpa's.
Okay.
But the parking that's on-street parking, we're not looking in constructing the parking on First Ave, which Calvin Giordano looked at. That's going to be a different project itself.
Okay. So with this parking study, this is just going to identify how many potential parking spaces we have?
Additional new
Or
parking,
how long people park there for? What is that?
just giving us,
How's it going to be helpful? That's all I'm asking.
looking at the area and seeing where we could add parking
On the street.
on the street.
Okay. So what we would consider maybe doing like an angle parking where you could fit more?
There could be
instead of-
angle, there could be maybe narrowing, using areas right now where we have a swale and saying, there's different regulations that we have to follow. For instance, when we looked at Dania Beach Boulevard and making it a one-way so we could add parking on both sides, FDOT told us we couldn't because of the buses and the fire truck. So there's regulations that we are not aware of that a parking study would determine you could add it here, you can't add it there.
And does it have to do with incorporating potential, like swales, like you said, like private property swales, even though it's not it's not private property, they're responsible for it, but it's public property. Okay.
City property.
It's like swale parking is kind of what we're doing a study for.
Converting it into asphalt striped parking.
Okay. Well, how much is it going to cost?
Oh, again, I'm first getting consensus.
You just want to get consensus
Before we go out, absolutely.
Okay. Well, if it's not overly expensive, then I'm for it.
Okay. Any more questions from the board? All right. So then we will move on to item 4, presentations. Item 4.1, 148 North Federal Highway. Ibaka.
All right, good evening. Let me properly address everyone. Good evening, Chair, Vice Chair, CRA board members, CRA attorney, director, staff, and all gathered here today. I'm Yavaka Young-Smith. I don't understand. That's okay. I'm Yavaka Young-Smith, redevelopment real estate manager for the Dania Beach CRA. And I'm before you to present 148 North Federal Highway, the former site of Jimmy's Chocolates, and to seek your direction to staff for any desired action. Next slide, please. Or am I the slide clicker? Okay, all right. Okay. As a refresher, I'll give you an overview of this property, including its features, and go over some potential next steps. As you know, the city purchased the property in December of 2023 for $1.6 million. The property is highly visible in the city center district and 5 minutes from the airport. The property has interior and exterior dining options with plenty of parking space. There are 2 lots for a combined 18,700 square foot parcel. The combined buildings are about 2,500 square feet. And here are the details of the parcel, including layout and folio numbers. The zoning of the parcels is city center zoning, allowing retail, residential, brewery, office, cafe, or art gallery as a matter of right. So next steps, sell, lease, develop, or hold. The CRA is looking at multiple pathways for the future of this property. And should the board wish, stakeholders would be encouraged to express interest through a letter of interest or by proposing a public-private partnership. If we go the LOI route, then developers would submit a formal expression of interest to engage with the CRA on potential use of the property, kind of like what we're doing with the property clusters now. If we go with the public-private partnership or P3 route, we'd be looking at joint development models, combining public ownership with private investment and expertise. But one does not preclude the other, of course. And we're seeking consensus to put out an LOI. So thank you for your time and attention. I'm happy to address any questions or comments.
Thank you, Yavaka, for that presentation. I know we've been waiting for it. I will let the vice chair go.
Thank you. Have you had any interest at all?
Yes.
Can you explain some of the interests that you've had?
Yes, one was from a chocolates maker and retailer that's currently out of Miami, and I did show the space last week, and I believe Mr. Manager also has had some interest by, I don't know if it was developers or...
Some property business owners have expressed interest. We haven't received any type of formal offers, but they have expressed interest. They've asked us, what do we want to do? That's why we're here, to see if we want to sell, if we want to lease the land, I think there's a more inclination on purchasing, so they could have full rights, but again, it's up to this board to determine how they want us to move forward. If it's just to put out an LOI, to see what we get back and you guys decide, it's up to you.
Okay, thank you. I know, in passing and discussions that I've had outside the commission, that I believe that the new owner of the corner lot is the owner of Gigi's Restaurant. And I've talked to, Dan, and they had expressed some interest in talking with the city. Now, whether they have or not, I don't know. But I didn't think they wanted to do a lot other than they were going to use that for, I guess, preparing food for their other place and open a small store there. That's also, at this point now, because they did buy that property, it kind of throws a curve on some of the other interest that was out there, because there was some other interest in doing a public-private partnership on building up. We had talked years ago about purchasing that property and putting a convention center, like room up there where we have meeting rooms that the city does not have big enough to host something like that. That was brought up by another developer, but I think that's gone now. I didn't know whether or not the owner that bought that property would be interested in meeting with other developers to maybe coordinate a joint effort between them and the city as well. If we were ever to sell the property, I would be asking, a large amount of money to make a profit that we would put back in the coffer. But that works too. I mean, if we were to get the right amount of money, but to get back out of it, what we have in it, I would not be interested in. I think we need to explore that in the letter to go out that you want to send out. I think we don't need to jump into anything. You have a prime piece of property. I think it's something we really need to evaluate and find out who's interested. But we need to reach out to a lot of people besides just putting the letter out and telling, get into contact with the other owner of that property and see what they're really interested, if they're open to a lot of things. That opens up our door to negotiate with other people. So that's my suggestion.
Absolutely. I know that Javaca has been meeting with commercial realtors. She's already putting out the original LOI of the clusters, putting it out, going to meetings, going to realtor meetings, and sharing it with them. So we're definitely going to be spreading out the information.
Okay.
And we're open to receiving any.
Yeah, that's good. I just like you to, one thing is just to reach out to the owner of that property next door and ask them, are they interested at all? That way, when you do get your other interests going there, you have a negotiating point.
Okay.
If you have that, if they say no, then you work off of what you have. But if they say, yes, I'm interested in listening, it gives you a big open door of what can possibly go there on that. That's got to be over about 1.5 acres of property combined.
So do you want us to contact that owner first before we put anything out?
I think that I think the conversation with the owner would be done within a week, but then the letter can go out immediately. I think, if they ask the letter of interest, well, what do you got going? Well, by the time that letter goes out, you'll have an answer whether they want to do anything or not.
That's true. Okay.
So I wouldn't hold up on it. I'd just go forward. That's my suggestion.
Okay.
So, thank you.
Any other questions?
Thank you, Vice Chair. Board Member Ramoli.
Thank you, Chair. Would it make more sense to wait until we talk about the 11.2 item in our commission meeting to see where that goes before?
It's up to you. Again, it's not going out tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's going to take at least a week.
Isn't the land more valuable? And just assuming, I don't know, if item 11.2 does pass and it goes through, the item, the intent to send out would be more of an interest, I think, to people than it would be if you do it now.
Absolutely.
So,
and if we could always wait to see if it passes.
yeah.
And we could wait first reading, second reading.
That would be my recommendation. I think we just
second
wait.
reading or first reading?
I think we should wait to the second reading.
Okay, absolutely.
And then decide from there what direction we should take. Because I think it makes a big difference on what interests we might have.
We're ready whenever.
Okay.
So this sounds like
that
a
would
good
be my
plan.
recommendation.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you.
And it gives us time to reach out to the neighbor owning property, and hopefully have a discussion with them to see if they're interested.
Thank you, Board Member and Director. Board Member Llewellyn.
Thank you, Chair. And I don't know that we can really answer this at this point because we don't have anything out there yet and have any idea what any offers would be at this point. But do we have any sense of which would be more beneficial to the city, either to sell it or to continue to have an investment in it ourselves?
We would have to analyze both options depending on the price someone offers.
Right.
Originally, we were in discussion with a local business that wanted to lease it. But what we're finding out is that a lot of businesses want to have full control. Yeah. If they're going to invest in construction, it's a multi-million-dollar investment, and that type of investment, they want to have full rights of ownership.
Right.
So the business that we were having a multitude of meetings with, they went and purchased their own land because it made more sense to them. Some of the discussions we've had with potential investors, they follow that same trend. This property that we have to demolish, the 2 buildings that are there, or do a complete gut job. And it will be a multi-million-dollar investment.
It's been sitting for a
and
long
then
time.
not to own it, that seems to be a challenge for them.
Absolutely. No, okay. And like I said, I didn't expect you to necessarily have an answer on that at this point, but I would be in agreement to wait until after the second reading of the other item, and then we see where we are.
Okay, hold on. Board Member Ryan.
Yeah, I just have a couple questions of just to be clear what direction the board chooses to take here. So we're gonna send out for multiple options to see what the choice is. Is that what you're saying? We want
Right
to see if
now-
somebody wants to potentially lease it or do a P3 or a partnership or sell it all together.
Right now,
Do we even have an asking price?
right now, there's seems to be consensus to wait to see what happens tonight with the zoning change. After that, if it passes, to even wait for the second reading for that to pass, and then to put out a letter of interest, similar to what we did with the clusters, to see what we get back. And that was where Javaka stated it could be to lease, to sell, to do a P3, or any other suggestions, developers, to see what developers are interested in. We would bring it back to the board with all the proposals, or let's say if there's that many, we would trim it down, and the board would make the best decision.
Okay,
So there's no one way to move forward right now.
understood. Yeah, this property we purchased in 2023. It's definitely appreciated in value. It's a good way we diversified our portfolio at the time. It's a strong position that we have there to have US 1 frontage like that and to do it for a commercial use. But obviously we have to make it attractive to a potential suitor. I agree with Vice Chair there regarding the neighbor next door. I think they might show some interest on what they're trying to do in the future. Everything obviously takes time, but as long as we started with dialogue, I think we can get some places here.
And I will, I'll make sure to have that meeting with the neighbor, the property owner, and see where that goes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other further discussion? Great discussion by the board. I'm in agreement with waiting until the second reading and see what we get back, and thank you for your report.
One more thing.
Go ahead.
And the reason we're bringing it up in the CRA is because there's more time to discuss like this, but eventually the final decision, whatever that is, after the LOI, it will be taken to the city commission meeting for approval because the city purchased it.
Right.
But we're doing it now because it's in the CRA and there's a lot more flexibility in a presentation and having a dialogue.
Excellent. Okay, then we will move on to item 5, the consent agenda. Do I have, are there any items the board wishes to pull from the consent agenda, or do I have a motion to approve? Board Member Llewellyn?
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed say nay. Okay, the consent agenda passes unanimously. Item 6, we have no bids and proposals. Item 7, we have no discussion and possible action. Item 8, no information items, so we will move on to item 9, which is our board member comments, and we will begin with Board Member Llewellyn.
No comments tonight, thank you.
Thank you. Board Member Ramoli.
No comments, Chair.
Thank you. I'm getting a.
No comment, Chair. Thank you very much.
Okay. Vice Chair.
No comments tonight, thank you.
And I will just say thank you to our executive director and everybody who's worked on the team to give us important updates for Spirit. I know a lot of people have been inquiring about it, so I thank you all for getting that accurate information to us, and so we can be ready when things move forward. Thank you, everybody, and meeting adjourned.